Not all Americans have the luxury of complete independence. They may struggle to dress themselves, manage their retirement, or take their medications adequately. When we think of these instances, we may think mostly of seniors, but that is not always the case. Veterans, Americans with physical and mental disabilities, wounded warriors, and even children with medical conditions rely on a family caregiver to help them live their daily lives. Though they may have physical or functional limitations or an illness or chronic health conditions that impedes their ability to fully care for themselves, many are able to remain safe and comfortable in their homes due to the important role of a family caregiver. Nationwide, there are roughly 40 million family caregivers who provide physical and emotional care for parents, spouses, children, and other loved ones in need of assistance. These caregivers are unsung heroes who devote both their time and resources to the day-to-day activities that are necessary to provide a disabled loved one with care. These activities may be to drive their loved ones to doctor's appointments, provide them with meals, assist in management of their finances, and administer at-home nursing and care so that the loved ones may continue to live at home. Taking on the role of a family caregiver is a deeply personal decision characterized by selflessness and compassion for a relative in need. It's estimated that on average, the nation's caregivers dedicate about 18 hours each week to carrying out their caregiver tasks, while almost a third provide over 60 hours a week of care. These activities provide an annual economic value of $470 billion each year. About 60% of caregivers have full or part-time jobs in addition to their caregiving roles, leaving them to juggle their caregiving obligations with their work hours and their personal and family time. The RAISE Family Caregivers Act will direct the Secretary of Health and Human Services to develop a Family Caregiver Advisory Council to make recommendations regarding best practices on recognizing and supporting family caregivers. The Council will include members from the public and private sectors, family caregivers, elderly Americans, and people living with disabilities, state and local officials, and health care providers. The Secretary will then publish the Council's finding so that the family caregivers may be equipped with the information that they need to be successful in their roles. The Council will provide information about streamlining federal and state activities to maximize efficiency, and it will preserve the integrity of family rights and person-centered care. This is an opportunity to help improve the quality of life of millions of Americans who both provide and receive familiar care. One important provision of the RAISE Family Caregivers Act ensures that the Secretary of Health and Human Services is prohibited from mandating best practices or expanding the federal authority in any way. Additionally, the bill does not authorize any additional funds for the formation of the Council, and after 3 years, the Council and its related activities will sunset. The RAISE Family Caregivers Act is an important step we can take to recognize the essential role of family caregivers and share important information so that they can better care for others. This legislation fulfills a bipartisan recommendation of the Federal Commission on Long-Term Care. The Senate passed this bill earlier this year by unanimous consent, and the House of Representatives now has the opportunity to have this bill signed into law. I urge my colleagues to support this bipartisan legislation so that family caregivers are recognized for an important role they play in our communities. I reserve the balance of my time.